Hello everybody! Thank you so much for coming back. The fact that you are back here shows me that you like CDs. Now today I want to talk about audiophile CDs. And as always I try to make it short, so we don't have like an hour about technical stuff or so. What should you look for when you go in thrift stores if you buy them for resale? Or if you buy them for yourself, what's the higher quality CD? What's the CD that doesn't go for 99 cents? What's the CD that goes for 10, 20, 30 and more dollars? You do find them, trust me, and you will find them for 99 cents or $1.99. Some thrift stores like Goodwill, they all go up a little bit with CDs because, I predict that CDs will come back massively. Just think about how it went with video today. You cannot see anything on your TV unless you stream. And streaming costs you money. You have to either buy one movie for the newest ones for $4.99, older ones for 99 cents, stream it, and that's it. You don't own it, you don't have a case, you have nothing, you just have it digitally on a cloud server or maybe on your own hard disk. But that's it, it's nothing physically. So what happens? People already start buying DVDs because they like to have stuff on the shelf, look at books, look at covers, read about it, where it was shot, all those things, and they people are collectors. The humankind is this hunters and collectors. I'm a collector, so I really like to have stuff. And as of now, you still get a lot of free music, but once it's dialed in, and no way it takes more than 10 years from now, you will not be able to listen to a song unless you compensate somehow. You will have to pay for the song, you will have to pay for a subscription, anything, but you will not be able to get it like you still can today. So then people will start buying CDs, the digital form. Vinyl is super. Vinyl sounds the best, no doubt about it. But the CD is so much more convenient. I can flip through the tracks, all kinds of things. It's easier to store, and it sounds great. It doesn't sound as good, it sounds great. Now most DVDs are 16-bit. Well, I don't want to go into that because all the computer guys know probably immediately, and all the audio guys, the recording guys, they know the difference: 48 Hertz, 96 Hertz, 16-bit, 24 bits. You can Google it, I don't want to, I don't, let's just, it's a medium quality 16-bit. Now, what many people don't know, CDs are made in 24-bit on gold CDs. I don't believe that the gold is better than the silver. They just use that for marketing. But there's a difference in 16 and 24-bit. And now you have those lossless files digitally. Would be something like that. They sound better. They still don't sound as good as vinyl does. And I don't think any digital will ever sound as good as analog does. But they sound close. And what I do is, if I listen to music, I have a sweet spot in my house. I have my stereo system set up. I have Canton speakers. You can see it there behind me. Behind me there, that's a Canton speaker. They are made in Germany. They are amazing. Amazing. Now I have the two speakers and I have the subwoofer. Those sell for $3,800, the pair and the sub. Guess what I paid? $50 in a pawn shop. Why? Don't ask me. They had them out on the table, on the bargain table. When you walk in, they were sitting there. There's a huge story about that, because my friend has seen him first actually, and he didn't buy him. And now he asked me, so I don't know why, but anyway, that's a side story. I got those for $50. Somebody was either lazy or couldn't find them online to look up how much they are. They never heard the name, of course. They are not very popular. Only people who are really into that know about this brand, but they're amazing, amazing speakers. I had soliloquies, I had Dahlquist DQ10s, awesome speakers, but somebody is ringing on the doorbell, so it might be a collection agency, just don't open, I guess. We're not home, sorry. Where was I? Yeah, the speakers, awesome, Dahlquist DQ10s. This is the best I ever had, and I keep them. So, what I do is, when I sit down and listen to music, really listen to every nuance, to the band, to the orchestra, to the vocalists, I listen to vinyl. Now, when I play music, like house cleaning music, you know, with the vacuum cleaner, which of course I don't do, but, you know, it sounds good. So then I use CDs. Easy, I put it in, it plays longer, I don't have to flip it over to side B, I can change tracks, I can do it. And SACD will give me, at the moment, the best quality available. So I want to show you some CDs. I prepared a few CDs. They give up, they only ring once, the bell. Can't be a collection agency. It's probably the neighbor needs some eggs or some milk or some sugar or something. I don't know. Well, anyways, people are not too anxious to see me. So I want to show you. I want to show you some CDs, some audiophile CDs. I'm going to start with SACD. An SACD is a super audio CD. Always 24-bit, always on a better label. It looks like this. You have those hype stickers on there, Philips, you know, recording with tubes. People, studios who make these CDs on high quality, they also make sure that the recording, the original recording already is good, because I mean, it doesn't make too much sense to press it on high quality if the master tape doesn't sound good in the first place. So here, first analog all-tube orchestra recording in 20 years. Philadelphia Orchestra. That is an SACD, and it says everywhere super audio or SACD, or very important, it also could say DSD. That's the same, it's just I think SACD is Philips, it's copyrighted, so all the other companies will say DSD. So now let's look. What else I have here. Here's more SACDs. Rosemary Clooney, for instance. Also another tip. Most, not all, but most SACDs have rounded corners. They are in a different case. So you can spot them right away in a thrift store, wherever you go, you know. You see that round corner, you check, because most likely it is an SACD. So, and here's another one with hype sticker. You know, it says SACD, but plays on all CD players. Yes, it will play on all CD players, but important. If you want to play an SACD, you want top quality, you need an SACD player. So look for the logo and look that your CD player says SACD. There are not many out there, and they go, right now you can pick them up for $50, $60. The cheaper ones, Marantz, Pioneer, up to 3,000 or so. You know, there's crazy CD players out there. I don't really know if you get the difference, you know, between 60 and 3,000. I don't know if it's that much difference, and I wouldn't know because the rest of my system is not capable to show that difference. So anything I have sounds wonderful. Can it get better? Yeah, always. You can spend 100 grand on the stereo and you still can improve. So, okay, so these are the SACDs. I don't really, you know, I don't show you the titles, or, you know, you can find it, just punch in online SACD and you'll find some to buy. Here's some oddities. I want to show what you can pick up. What sounds really good, like then an audio technical CD, which is to test your stereo system. It tests the phasing, it tests the bass, the frequency range, left and right, the channels. Wonderful stuff. Basic checks, listening tests. So it's always good to pick one up of those, and they do sell fairly well, and for way more than a regular CD does. Here is something else that is. This is sealed, so I never listened to it, but it's an audiophile recording. It says on the audiophile recording, look for those. They all, this is sealed. I'm pretty sure if I would sell that, I would get $20 online. Then Denon, this is one of my favorites. That's why it's so scratched, because I constantly listen to it. This one has unbelievable tracks on there, and it's called Denon high-end hi-fi recordings. So they put that out just to show, because Denon has $100,000 stereo systems. So another label is RCA. In the 50s and 60s they made that, but it translated to CD. They still copied on CD, mostly SA CDs. It's called Living Stereo, which is a real nice sounding. They all recorded in special recording equipment, special attention in orchestras to the strings, to the piano. It's all top quality, higher quality. Always pick those up. They always sell for more than a regular CD as well. Another one is made by Mercury. It's the same thing than Living Stereo by RCA. Just Mercury has another name, probably trademark. Mercury Living Presence. You also will find this on the old vinyl, but you will find it on CD. And if it says Living Presence, buy it. So dual CDs. I don't care too much about music on surround sound, but they do make it. They look like this. They're very high-end cases. Everything is like deluxe. They have a CD, and on the other side it's a DVD. Sometimes there's a movie on there. Sometimes it's all music. Everything is in surround sound, 5.1 usually. If that's something you like, good. I don't care too much for it. I like stereo. I have 2 ears. I hear stereo. Of course, if I'm in a concert hall, there might be some sound bouncing back from the wall or from wherever. But you know, I don't need to hear this. I don't need to simulate this. I just really want to hear stereo. Anyways, however, those CDs are worth more money. And they all say dual disc. And lots of people like them. They like to buy them, you know, like in the old days, they had quadraphonic. And people would buy systems and special recordings that are recorded in four channels, and would listen to it. Well, if that's your game, that's fine, you know. But one thing is for sure, if you see it in the thrift store, anywhere you see it, for $1, buy it, because you can sell it or build your collection, increase your net worth. Good, you know. Here's some test CDs. Stereophile magazine, for instance. Lots of companies put out test CDs, which you can test your frequency range, your subwoofer, your channel separation, your noise floor, so many things. Dial in, fine-tune your stereo system. I always pick those up. Most of those, they are $10, $20. They are very good sounding. They have sample tracks on there. I really love Chesky Records sample CD. They explain everything. I have it somewhere here. I'll show you in a second. Chesky also does those see those $100,000 cars, they have high-end stereo, and they come as a new car with a CD, so they can demonstrate how good the stereo is. And those are made by Chesky, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz, and those are always, they have great tracks, great music, and great sounding. You always want to buy that. And Chesky in general, here's another BMW. Chesky in general makes those high-end recordings with tube microphones. It's amazing how Chesky in California records pianos, strings, saxophone, drums. It's so good. They use tube microphones. They use tube preamplifiers. They use tube compressors, like in the old days. You know, you have much warmer compression. It's really worth listening to this. Now you have that label, you have that recording studio who delivers that high quality, and then you put it on 24-bit on high quality CDs. There's something happening. There is a difference between this and the regular CD. So Chesky, Sarah K, you know, the only thing I don't care too much is about it. Sometimes those audiophile labels, and they think music is not supposed to be that pretty or makes you snap, you know. They put sometimes real weird stuff on those CDs and those female vocals, and they do sound good and they are interesting to listen to. But I wonder if you could make an album that reveals the female vocals, whatever it is, real great vocals, great strings, great piano, great drums, and still has cool songs on it, you know. I don't care too much constantly hearing songs I never heard before. You know, it's good. I do it once in a while, but I would love to have that quality that I play every day. I mean, real good music. But there's one label who does that, and we get there in a second. So they do all Sarah K. Not all, but I mean a lot of Sarah K. Very talented woman, female vocalist, but you know, you like it or you don't. You decide for yourself. Then here's Anna Karen. You know, I think she's from Brazil. They do lots of Latin stuff. Here's a test. It's a sampler. Livingston Taylor is the brother of James Taylor. Just not that successful, but he's good. He almost sounds like him. His songwriting obviously is not that good. I don't want to say that good. Just he don't get the hook right. He don't puts out those hits like James Taylor does. But he's very good. So don't get me wrong. So what else do we have here? Okay, one of the most important labels, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, MFSL. Today they call it MoFi. What happened is it's a Californian company, and they started buying or licensing master tapes and put that on vinyl and on CD, and slowly but surely I guess they didn't make enough money. I don't know if they went out of business. Maybe they did. There wasn't releases for a long time, but somebody picked it up a few years ago and now they're releasing again. The new releases are a little bit different. I haven't really heard anything sounding better than the old stuff. The old stuff, they really put their heart and soul into their work. Now I guess, you know, they're just kicking out records because vinyl is very popular, and they get $35 for an album now and put MoFi on it. There's so many different audiophile things now. All that on disc stuff, and you know, I'm not sure about it. Just let your ears decide, you know. But what's good is when they started out. They started out with 16-bit. They all look the same. They look like this. They have that black, and they have those stripes and the silver on top. And the original album cover is always smaller on there, so you know what it is. And they had that regular case at the beginning, and the silver CD 16-bit. Some great recordings, very good recordings. They not only remastered the master tape, the big pick very good recordings, very tasteful. That was the beginning. After this, I mean, you know, there's a lot of that silver stuff, hundreds, and you can buy them online. You can find. I find them sometimes in a thrift store. I just recently on the flea market, somebody bought a locker and was full at like 200-300 CDs, and there were 2 Mobile Fidelity in there. I bought those 2 for $1 each. You can find them. The next one was the Ultra Disc, which is gold and had that flip case. You know, it's a really cool case where the CD comes up like that, really easy to grab and really easy to put back. You don't have to snap it in anymore. So now, of course, I cannot do it upside down. But and then it folds down when you close it. Also, very good artists, very tasteful music. And there's 2 more I show you. I want to keep it short because I know it gets boring after a while. I could talk so much about Audiophile and see, those are all you know, silver ones and gold ones. You have blues, John Mayall, Albert King. There's so much good stuff. All the Grateful Dead stuff. Cat Stevens, if you like. I'm not a super fan of Cat Stevens, but he does have a good voice. Joe Cocker. So you can buy all that stuff. And here, this is going to be my last 2 for this video. One I like very much. Eric Clapton, Just One Night, double album on Mobile Fidelity. To me, in my opinion, a must-have. Great album, great sounding. I don't know how much it's worth now, probably 60 bucks. Some of them used to be worth 300 and even more. I remember the Ike and Tina Turner, I think it was like 600 15 years ago, a little bit longer. But now they don't go for that much anymore, but they still elevated value. And this is an absolute must-have. Every American living in America has to have this album. Every American who does not live in America has to have that album. And every person who is not an American still has to have this album. Allman Brothers. I mean, you know it, I know you know it. But if you want the big quality, the best quality, get they say original master recording, so get the Mobile Fidelity and you will not believe what a difference, you know. All those, the only thing, Dark Side of the Moon, for instance, which is one of the most popular albums ever, and it is, Dark Side of the Moon is, came originally out on Harvest. That's a UK label, that's where Pink Floyd was signed. Then later on they changed to Columbia, and Mobile Fidelity did it too, and there's lots of other copies too, but those are the 3 major ones: Harvest, Columbia, and Mobile Fidelity. Now to me, the Harvest sounds the best, absolutely the best pressing on vinyl. It's also the best on CD, in my opinion. Next is the Mobile Fidelity, and then you have the Columbia, which is the regular copy, and they did remasters, they did 25th anniversary. It doesn't get better from there. If you want the best sounding, get either the Harvest or get the Mobile Fidelity. And that's what it's all about, music. I love music, and I love the universal language of music. We all talk different languages, we have different skin colors, we have different religions, it doesn't matter. If I do this, you're gonna snap too, or you're gonna feel it, you're gonna feel me, right? So, that's it for today. Next time I want to show you some labels I also really like. They are not SACDs or anything like that, but many of them are also considered audiophile. Like, for instance, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, that's a total audiophile album on vinyl and on CD. And that's on a label that is many jazz lovers' favorite label. It's called Blue Note. And I have a whole shelf full of Blue Note. I like it a lot. They're all in a nicer price range, and that label picks really good artists. It's if you're a jazz musician and you are on Blue Note, you're good. And the other one is my favorite blues label. I'm gonna show you. It's on Alligator Records out of Florida. Another real nice label. I got another shelf full. I buy any Alligator record. Most of them I know anyways, but even if I don't know it, I will buy it. So thanks for watching this, and thanks for being at my channel. If you like it, please subscribe. It does help me getting more viewers and getting more views and getting more subscribers. It's all a good thing. Remember, life is good. Be kind to each other. And you are awesome. I'll see you next time.